Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. I'm Devil0020's, and today I'm doing my top 20 movies of all time. Now this list is not in any particular order because trying to put them in a particular order would just be too difficult for me. Um, there's a lot of movies I could have chose for this list, but I had to cut them out. This list took me ages to make because there's so many movies I enjoy. But I hope you enjoy the video, guys. There's not going to be any animated or kids animation movies or anime movies in this list. I will do those separately. I will do a list for each of them separately. So without further ado, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and let's begin. So number 20 for my list is Demolition Man. I think this is one of Sly Stallone's um, underrated movies because I hear no one talking about this. Yeah, it's sort of cheesy when you go back and watch it now, but it's still quite enjoyable. It has some great action sequences in it. It is pretty funny as well. Does have some really great comedy moments too. Um, he plays Stone plays a cop called John Spartan, who is trying to catch Snipes' character called Simon Phoenix. They end up causing a lot of damage, and they get sentenced to cryo freezing. This is set back in the early 90s, so yeah, that technology was really around at the time. Um, Simon Phoenix gets woken up in, I think it's like year 2033 or something like that. Um, and the cops of 2033 can't handle him because the whole world at that point was really, really peaceful, and the cops never have any problems just because uh, it's so peaceful, pretty much. So they wake up John Spartan, and he has to deal with it. And yeah, that's pretty much how the movie goes. Uh, lot of great action sequences, as I said. I think both actors were really, really great in this. I'm not really overly a big fan of Wesley Snipes, but I think he did a really good part in this. Um, Stallone was great in as well. I'm a huge fan of Stallone anyway, so yeah, definitely recommendation if you like Stallone and Wesley Snipes. So number 19 is Blue Streak. Blue Streak is about a thief who ends up getting caught. Before he gets caught, he hides his diamonds, which he stole in a building site. Which, after getting out of jail 2 years later, the building site has become a cop station, and yeah, he's trying to go undercover. He goes undercover, pretends he's a cop, and he tries to get the diamonds back. But along the way, he is trying to not get caught while doing it, and he's also trying to stop his partner who is trying to kill him and get the diamonds for himself. Martin Lawrence was absolutely great in this movie. It's one of my favorite Martin Lawrence movies. I think he can be over the top sometimes with his comedy, but I think he did a really good job in this. He definitely made me laugh a lot in this movie. So if you haven't seen this, definitely check it out. So number 18 is Scary Movie. It was really hard for me to choose between this one and the second one. I chose this one mainly because it was the one that started off the franchise, and it does have some of the better jokes in it. I thought 2 and 3 were funny, but um, they did seem a little bit boring at times. So yeah, I definitely think this one was the best one. This also started off the whole parody movie phase all the directors were going through. Um, After this, there was epic movie, and then there was superhero movie, and then there was um, all these other different movie parody spin-offs. So yeah, this one actually started off all those. Yeah, going back and watching them now, they still are just as funny. Well, I think the first three are just as funny. Anyways, but yeah, if you like parody movies, it's definitely worth checking out. This one's actually the parody of Scream, which Scream is pretty funny itself because um, if you go and watch it, you actually see that the killer doesn't actually kill any of his victims himself. They end up dying accidentally anyway. That's kind of a spoiler, but the movie's what, like 10 or 15 years old now. So yeah, but I'm guessing most people's watched anyway. But yeah, number 18. So number 17 is Snakes on a Plane. This is one of my favorite Samuel L. Jackson movies. Anyone who knows me knows I'm a huge fan of Samuel L. Jackson. The guy's just absolutely legendary. Um, Samuel Jackson plays Agent Flynn, an FBI agent who is trying to get a witness from Hawaii back to LA to to testify against a mob boss. But unknown to them, the mob boss has actually put venomous snakes onto the plane, and once they hit 30,000 feet, all the snakes are released and they cause havoc on the plane. This movie's actually where spawned the phrase "I'm tired of these motherfucking snakes in this motherfucking plane." Um, Most people probably heard that line, or Samuel Jackson saying that line. Anyways, yeah, this is a great movie. I don't think many people like this, but I find it very cheesy, but very funny anyway, and it's a pretty good action movie too. So number 16 is The Fast and the Furious, the original movie in the franchise. I think this came out in like 2002, 2003. I was still in high school at the time and I watched this movie to death. I loved this movie. I was huge in the Need for Speed at the time, mostly Underground 1 and Underground 2. I think it was Underground 1 that came out at the time this came out. So I loved the whole fact it was about cars and racing, and that's why I don't like the newer ones, because it's about stealing stuff from banks and catching bad guys and huge action sequences with explosions. That's not necessary. Um, I liked it better when it was about the actual cars and racing, nothing else. But that's just my opinion. So yeah, number 16. So number 15 is Top Gun. I'm not going to go too much into this because most people have probably seen it. If you're really big into Tom Cruise, you have not watched this movie yet, go watch it. That's all I'm going to say. It's one of my favorite movies of his. He was really, really young in this actually, and it's hard to believe that he's like what 54, 55 now, and he's still going strong. He does his own stunts, um, as well. So yeah, it's hard to believe with how far he's came, um, since his early days. I never used to be actually a fan of Tom Cruise, but after watching movies like this, Mission Impossible and all, I really changed my mind about how I feel about him and his acting, and he's definitely one of my favorite actors of all time now as well. So yeah. So number 14 is Me, Myself, and Irene. This is definitely one of Jim Carrey's funniest movies he's ever done. Jim Carrey plays a Rhode Island police officer who gets dumped. He gets I wouldn't say slagged off, but most people probably won't know what that is. He gets insulted. He gets cheated on, and he balls up all of his feelings, but he ends up getting schizophrenia, and he ends up having multiple personalities, and he plays multiple personalities so well together. He just jumps from one character who's very he's very quiet. He doesn't really express his emotions to this other guy who just really really over the top, and he doesn't give a shit what he says to anyone. It's just really, really funny. If you've not checked this out, go check it out. Really, really old movie, but it's definitely one of Jim Carrey's best movies. So number 13 is Land of the Dead. I remember going to see this in the cinema with Private Mountains, a few friends, and um, a few people we ended up meeting down there. Let's just leave it at that. So yeah, we went to see this, and when we got a chance to actually watch it, when we were getting pestered by these other people, we actually really enjoyed this movie. Um, I think we were really big into zombie movies at the time because I think this came out at the same time as uh, I can't remember his name now. Dead Rising, that's it. I think it came out a few years after Dead Rising. I can't even remember, but yeah, this was a great movie. If you're a huge fan of George A. Romero or zombie movies, this is definitely one to check out. The zombies have actually already taken over, and they've walled themselves inside a city. and that's not going to last very long because the zombies are actually getting smarter and they learn how to use weapons, they learn how to communicate with each other, and they're actually making their way towards the city. So yeah, at least bunch of guys have to uh, work together and actually try to find out how to stop these things. I'm not going to spoil the movie for you, but it's definitely a movie worth checking out. It's definitely a great zombie movie, and I think most of the zombie movies after that from George Romero um, went downhill afterwards. Well, I thought so anyway. But yeah. So number 12 is The Shawshank Redemption. Tim Robbins plays Andy Dufresne. I think it's Dufresne. Um, who's an ex-banker who gets wrongfully accused of killing his wife and his wife's secret lover, and he gets sent to prison. And he makes an unlikely friendship with Morgan Freeman's character Red, and he uses his banking skills to help the corrupt prison guards and the corrupt warden while he's doing his 2 life sentences in prison. This is actually based off a book, and I would love to actually read the book because um, I'm sure they're missing a lot of the stuff which happened in the book, which they couldn't fit into the movie because the movie's, I think it's only like 2 hours long. So yeah, they obviously couldn't fit everything into it. So yeah, I definitely have to find the book for this. But the movie was absolutely great. It has some really touching moments in it, and it's definitely worth watching. So number 11 is The Green Mile. This is probably one of my favorite movies of Tom Hanks. I'm not really a huge fan of Tom Hanks to be honest, but this is definitely one of the movies I could watch of his over and over again. Um, he plays a veteran prison guard who watches over inmates of death row, and one day while patrolling death row, he meets John Coffin, who's played by Michael Clark Duncan. Michael Clark Duncan is just fantastic in this movie. I really enjoy his acting overall, but I would say this is probably his best role he's done. Well, he did while he was still alive. Um, he plays this gentle giant. He's like 8 foot tall, gentle giant who gets accused of killing 2 children, and he can't sleep with the light on. He can't sleep in the dark, so he has to sleep with a light on. Um, Tom Hanks feels really bad for this guy, and it's just a very, very sad story overall. I don't want to jump too much into this because I don't want to ruin the story for you. This is definitely one that's worth checking out if you haven't seen it yet. It definitely will tug at your heartstrings, and it's definitely worth a watch. So number 10 is Mission Impossible with Protocol. Um, I probably will get a lot of flack for putting this one on the list because I don't think many people like this one. But I thought Tom Cruise is really, really great in this. I told you it wouldn't be the last time you see Tom Cruise on my list. Um, I think the actor in this one was superb. I think the stunts were really, really great. Apparently, he did a lot of stunts himself, which makes me think appreciate him a lot more. I love actors who do their own stunts. Um, I thought some of the locations just look so great, like Dubai when they're climbing on top of the buildings. Apparently, he actually did that himself. They would never get me out of the building that high. All the Mission Impossible movies are really, really awesome, but this is just my favorite. If you have your own favorite, let me know in the comment section below. But yeah, they're all definitely worth checking out, anyways. So number 9, I'm actually going to cheat in this one and put two titles um in this one because I can't decide what one's better, and that is two Ace Ventura movies. Another Jim Carrey one. You've probably seen a lot of parents here with me liking the same actors and the same movies from the same actors. But yeah, these are two of the funnest movies I've ever seen him do. I get a chuckle every time I watch these. I've watched them both half a dozen times. Love them both. Um, Jim Carrey's expressions and he the way he can just maneuver his face and change his face about, it just makes me laugh so much. He's definitely one of the best actors for that. Um, Unfortunately, he hasn't been doing much roles like that recently. He's been more serious recently, and he hasn't been just as able to show his comedical side as much recently. So yeah, hopefully we'll see more roles where he gets back to um, the likes of this. I would love to see a third one. There was a third one, but it was more of the son, like the son of Damask. It was the son of Ace Ventura. Yeah, I have no idea why they tried to make that a thing, but yeah, bring Jim Carrey back for Ace Ventura 3. That would be awesome. So number 8 is Valkyrie. I had a real tough job deciding whether to put this or um, The Last Samurai in. I love both movies. As I said, huge fan of Tom Cruise. So yeah, another movie had to slip in here. Um, this is actually based off a real life event which happened back in World War II, where a colonel tried to assassinate Adolf Hitler, and this is pretty much what it's about. Tom Cruise plays the colonel, um, Klaus von Stauffenberg. I really hope I've said that right. Um, it has some really, really great action sequences in it. It's really suspenseful as well. But yeah, really, really great movie. If you haven't watched it, definitely go check it out. Like every other movie I've said about that. Um, Moving on. Number 7 is Evil Dead 3, Army of Darkness. I love this movie. It's probably the best Evil Dead movie. Um, I really wish they made a fourth one instead of making the TV series. I didn't think the TV series was that interesting or as funny as the movies were. But yeah, I watched this back in the day. Back in the day, I mean, when me and Peppermint used to hang out all the time. Um, we were actually sitting waiting for MGO, sorry, Metal Gear Solid 4's online to uh, install. He said, "Do you want to watch a movie?" And he stuck this on, and I just laughed out loud so much at this movie. There's just so much great jokes in this. Bruce Campbell was absolutely fantastic. I actually went back and watched the first and second one afterwards, and I didn't think they were as good. I know the first one's more serious horror movie, and the second one is more in between. But this one's just full blown comedy, and it works just so well. It's definitely worth checking out all three movies. But in my opinion, I thought this one was the best. Hail to the King, baby. So number 6 is South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. I actually remember renting this back in the day. My mother actually rented this for me. I had no idea why she rented it for me because I think she knew what South Park was about, and I think she probably knew I was watching it secretly, so that's probably why she would let me watch it. But I remember renting this back in the day. I watched it like 9 times, just straight out. The whole weekend we rented it, I watched it. Um, as I said, 9 times. Um, and I absolutely loved it. I cannot get enough of it. I thought it was absolutely hilarious, and I'm really surprised that Matt and Trey have not made another one to this day. Um, to be honest, I think it's because they probably know the series has been going downhill, and it's not getting as much. It's probably not getting watched as much as it used to, and everyone thinks the jokes are getting the cast stale now. That it's on like its 20th season or 21st season, I think it is. Um, but yeah, I think it's been going downhill since like season 13 or 14. Um, that's just my opinion. This has some really great songs in it. I think some of them were actually up for, um, actually got nominated for Oscars or they got nominated for some sort of award anyway. Um, but yeah, this was really, really great. I'm sure like most people who watched this back in the day would tell me the same thing that the parents rented this for them and didn't know what the hell it was. Um, but they didn't really care and they were going to tell them. So yeah, that was number 6. So number 5 is Super Troopers. A lot of people probably know that they released the second one, and they're probably thinking, "What the hell, is Super Troopers?" I've never seen the first one. I think the first one was kind of like under the radar kind of movie when it came out back in the day. But this film is absolutely funny as hell. It's about a bunch of state troopers who are getting their precincts shut down, and they're trying to make a major drug bust. and they end up fucking it up. And yeah, it's just really, really funny. A lot of shenanigans in it and a lot of great humor in it. If you haven't watched the first one, definitely go check it out before you check out the second one. I cannot wait to watch the second one. I don't think it came out in cinema over here, so I just have to wait till it comes out in DVD. But yeah, I can't wait. So number four is Jet Li's the one. Jet Li plays a mercenary who is going between parallel universes to try to kill himself to become the one. The one. Every time he kills himself or a version of himself in each parallel universe, he becomes stronger. Well, each one of him becomes stronger until they're just down to two left, and the other version of him, he plays a cop. He's playing both roles. So he plays a cop and he's trying to fight for his life um, to stop this mercenary from killing him and becoming the one. I'm not going to spoil the movie for you. If you're a huge fan of Jet Li, definitely check it out. It's really worth checking out. Another one I would recommend from Jet Li is Jet Li's um, is it Unleashed. That's it. There you go. Jet Li's Unleashed. I recommend that too. I probably say these are two of his best movies. So that was number four. So number three is Judge Dredd, or Dredd, sorry, should have called. Carl Urban did a really good job playing Dredd in this one. Everyone back in the day when this came out was really skeptical about this and how good it will be because of how bad Sylvester Stallone was. Talk about a bit about Sylvester Stallone's one. It's not a good Dredd movie, but it's a decent movie to be honest. Um, it's more lighthearted than Dredd usually is, so that's probably why most people didn't enjoy it, especially hardcore fans of Judge Dredd. But this one, it does live up to the whole Dredd comic books. It sticks back quite a bit actually. As I said, Carl Urban was absolutely fantastic playing him. Unfortunately, we did not get a sequel to this. I would love to see a sequel or a spin off to Anderson, who's another judge in the Judge Dredd franchise. But we probably will never get another one, unfortunately, which makes me sad, to be honest. Especially because of how good this one was and how everyone actually liked it in the end. But yeah. So number two is Terminator Judgment Day. I'm not going to talk too much about this. Everyone's probably seen this movie. And if you've not seen this movie, I'd be really surprised you haven't seen this movie actually, because everyone who's made top 10, top 20 lists of their favorite movies always has this somewhere on the list. I really love this movie. I definitely think it was the best for the franchise, and it was definitely the last good one. Terminator after that just got really stale and really boring. Um, but yeah, this one was absolutely fantastic. Great music, great acting, uh, great action as well. Just everything about this movie was absolutely great. So it was. So number one is Dog Soldier. This is my favorite werewolf movie of all time. This has some great special effects for humans changing into a werewolf. It has some really great voice acting. The guy who voiced Soap McTavish and Price from Call of Duty was actually in this. And oh my god, this movie is just so funny as well. It's not one of those like very very serious horror movies. It's got a lot of comedy to it as well, and it's definitely worth checking out. Um, you probably think that the effects and all aren't very good, especially to nowadays standards, but I still think this is an absolutely fantastic movie nonetheless. So yeah, guys, that's my top 20 movies of all time. I really hope you enjoyed. Make sure to leave your top 20 movies or your top 5 movies of all time down in the comment section below for us. And let us know what you thought of the video as well. And would you like to see more videos like this from me and Private Mittens? I shall do an animated movie on our main movies list maybe next time. But until then, guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit that bell to stay notified about our new videos. And take care, and I will see you next time.